Hi, I'm Ann O'Brien. I am an intuitive teacher and author of 2 books, including my latest book, Everyone is Psychic. And I felt inspired to share with you how you can get the best results when you receive a psychic reading, whether it's from me or from somebody else. And what I'm about to share will also be helpful if you are looking to increase your own intuitive skill sets and read other people. And it'll even be helpful if you're looking to understand how the energy you put out in the world impacts other people and impacts what you receive in your experience of life. So, the easiest people for me to read, after doing this professionally since 2004 and before that since the late 90s, the easiest people for me to read are fellow psychics. And followed by that, I would say yoga teachers, therapists, anyone who's on a spiritual path or a path of personal growth. Most of my students will say the same thing. Whereas the hardest people for me to read are those who are testing me. So it doesn't happen too often these days, but when I read in the past, when I would read at a psychic fair or places where people are paying by the minute, they're not investing very much, they're kind of there to have fun and explore, and they don't really necessarily they're not looking to grow or heal themselves. They're just there kind of for fun. Those are the hardest people to read when they're testing me. And it also happens sometimes these days. Let's say somebody wants their friend or family member or partner to grow or heal. They send that person to me. That person didn't want to be there on their own, and they're kind of putting up a wall. Right? I don't prefer to climb walls. I don't prefer to blast down a wall. I am busy, and I prefer to help people who want to be helped. So those who test me are the hardest, and those who are spiritually open tend to be really easy, and that's because this is a dialogue, and what we're putting out energetically is what we receive back and also what we're showing the world. So I believe my clients show me what I see. My teacher, my spiritual teacher of over 10 years, he told this story a lot where somebody did come to him and said, "What is my uncle's address? Like, you're a psychic, shouldn't you know my uncle's address?" And it was just like a game, right? It wasn't coming from obviously a place of wanting spiritual growth. And my teacher, this was back in the day when we had phone books and physical books. You looked up people's addresses and phone numbers, and he said, "Why would I spend my energy on something that I could just look up in the phone book?" And I love that because I'm all about managing our energy well, and I'm all about doing this as a path of spiritual growth. And so you have the final say about your life. I'm not saying you should just be open to me indiscriminately or be open to a psychic without having your own ideas. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is be open enough that you're giving them something, you're showing them what you want. So I usually tell my clients to come to me with 1 to 3 core questions or areas they'd like to improve in their lives. That way I know where to go, because there's so much I could see about any given person. And if I don't know where to go, I might not be helping you the most. And there's so much to see that's really, really helpful. And I also say be open, because sometimes things come up, wonderful things that I might pick up on that you weren't going to ask me about. So have an intention, have your direction, but also be open. And this is not only guidance for getting a reading from me. You may or may not ever do that, and that's okay. This is guidance for life, having some intention every day about what your day's going to be. What do you want out of any situation that you're getting into? And then be open. So for those of you who know that you're psychic and you would like support to manage and trust your abilities, I am offering a 6-month in-depth intuitive training program. This starts October 19th, 2022. So if you're watching this video after the fact, you can still check out the site and see what's going on currently. And right now the link is www.annobrianliving.com/intuition. So annobrianliving.com/intuition. You can also look up everyoneIsPsychic.com. It's been really amazing to watch my students transform their lives. So what happens most of the time is people come their first few classes when they're learning to read others, they may not say very much, or they may feel like they're making it up. This is exactly what it feels like when you're learning. It feels like you're making it up because there's a very close line between imagination and intuition. Another thing I teach a lot is that maybe I'll tell you, picture a rose that represents a person. Let's say a person you know. Go ahead and close your eyes, imagine a rose. Maybe you don't see a rose. Maybe you see a black rose or a blank screen. Well, that is still information. It doesn't mean you're inaccurate. It just means maybe that person doesn't want to be seen. Maybe there's interference. Maybe they're having a hard time right now and you're seeing the darkness. But we can get curious and ask what it is instead of shutting down and going, oh, I didn't see anything. Sometimes if you ask psychically for information, and this could also be just asking your own inner guidance about something in your life. Should I do this today? You don't get an answer. That's still an answer. No answer is no answer. There's no information right now. And sometimes it's really helpful to know there's no answer or information right now. Focus on something else or get curious about why. So we learn a lot in the intuition classes about the importance of our energy broadcast. So as I mentioned, not only are you going to be able to receive information psychically, you're constantly sending information into the world. So we learn how to manage that and play with that and tune that to the frequency or the color or the quality of energy that you want to receive back. So if I want confidence, if I want to feel confidence today, or if I want to feel love, or if I want to have a calm, peaceful day, I might put a color around me that represents that to me and then watch what comes back to me. It's pretty incredible. We also do a lot of psychic self-care in the classes. So psychic self-care is where you learn to discern what's mine, what's not mine. Am I picking stuff up that I don't actually need to process? Am I wasting all this time and money and paying all this attention to something that's not even mine? Often there's a shortcut to all the stuff we think we need to process, and that was certainly my journey. So it's super freeing, it's liberating, it's inspiring, it's empowering, and it's something that meets you where you are. And this is why I have people that have repeated these classes many times over a decade or more, because it's not just about learning skills. This is about learning about yourself and unpeeling the layers of all that you thought you were that you're not. And also every time you do a reading for someone else, you have to see yourself. Every time you heal something in yourself, you have more to offer another. So it's really fascinating. And we do a lot of just guided meditation, grounding, energy balance every class. So people say they just feel good when they come. So if you're curious, please check it out, AnnO'BrienLiving.com/intuition. And the fall 2022 program starts October 19th. We only offer this once or twice a year. And in fact, I don't know if I'll do it again next year. Every year, more things are evolving. I just released a book. I'm going to start working on my third book. So if you're curious, I invite you to jump in. At least go to the site, check it out. You can message me through the site if you have any questions or want to set up a conversation to explore if this is right for you right now. All right. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.